Hello everyone, my name's Majharul. I have been teaching English at Kumila Victor Government College. And this lecture I have prepared for HSC syllabus, for the students of higher secondary certificate examinees, and also for the HSC first year and second year students. So I have been welcoming you from my home, and I hope that you will be with me until I go to the last part of this discussion. So dear students, how are you all? I hope you are all well by the benevolence of Allah. And I'm also well. And with this, I'm going to start off today's session. So let me share the screen with you. So please wait a while by the time I share the screen. Okay, that's it. Okay, so dear students, welcoming you once again for this video lecture presentation. And my email ID has been given, mazhar.hawk@gmail.com. So with this, I'm going to start off and let's get going. Okay, right form of verb, part one. It's a long and vast area of discussion. So I have decided to work with part one only, which is a basic component of your HSC, especially second paper, grammatical ideas, grammar sections. And this lecture would be really very helpful, I hope, if you follow me rightly. So let's get going and move to the next slide. Okay, before I actually talk about it, let us talk about the very basic things, that is right form of the verbs, how to manage, that is how would you manage and what do you mean by actually right form of verbs, what should you do with the verbs. Verbs are the most variable element of the sentences. The right form of verb encompasses most of the grammatical rules of English language. Every element of a sentence eventually relates to the verb. The verbs appear differently in a sentence on the basis of their subjects. That is subject-verb agreement, tenses, moods, voices, different structures, modals, etc. In this presentation, I would be talking about subject-verb agreement and all the rules relating to this. Okay, dear students, let's move forward and go to the next slide. Okay, I want you to have a look at this very important slide. You will have to know how words can be changed with the structures and with the different grammatical patterns. So I want you to have a look at this. Look, for example, do. This is the base form of the verb. It would be did in the past. It would be done in the past participle. And in the present participle, it would be doing. Gerund would be doing. Infinitive would be to do. Same is the case with work, worked, worked, working, working, to work. These are the 6 formats of a structure word. Structure word means do. Some of the words are all structure words and content words, but they can be changed with these 6 different, ingredients or 6 different segments. So base form, you will have to know the base form of any word, especially the verbs, past tense of that, past participle, present participle, gerund, and infinitive. Same is the case with be, that is to be verb, am, is, are, was, were. Past participle is was or were. Past tense is was, were. Past participle would be been. Present participle would be being. And gerund is, there is no gerund for that. And the infinitive would be to be, because all the verbs do not have the gerunds. Similar is the case with have. Past tense is had. Past participle is had. Present participle is having. And infinitive is to have. There is no gerund for this. So dear students, these are some of the examples. Even if you bring more words, you can actually fit it into this chart and get your answer. Okay, so let's move forward and go to the next slide. Okay, rules of right form of verbs. And in this discussion, I will be talking about the subject-verb agreement. How subjects and verbs are synchronized and used in a syntactic structure of a word, of a sentence. You will all see. And this could be very much helpful, because if you once you know how subjects are related to the verbs or how subjects are positioned against a verb, then it will be very easy for you to choose the right form of the verb from the brackets. So let's get going. Okay. There are actually a lot of rules, but I have chosen only few important rules for you to think about. Let's start with the rule number 1. Okay. Rule 1. The verbs are customarily followed by the subjects, as we all know, and they must agree with the subjects according to their number and person. The example has been given. The dog barks when he is angry. Again, the dogs growl when they are angry. You can see that verbs depend on the subject. In the first example, you've seen that I have highlighted them with a blue color so that it can be noticeable for your eyes. So the dog barks, dog is singular, barks third person singular, verb will take S. In the second sentence, the dogs is plural, so the verb is plural, the verb will not take S. Very simple. Let's go. Rule number 2. Don't get confused by the words that come between the subject and verb. They do not affect agreement. For example, the dog who is chewing on my jeans is usually very good. You can see the bluish italic examples. In the example, some of the words are italic and colored in blue for your better understanding. So dog singular, is has been used. Again, jeans is not, in spite of its being plural, because of the dog, which is the main element of this sentence, the verb is has been used. Very important for you to take a look at this. The dog who is chewing my jeans is usually very good. Number 3, prepositional phrases between the subject and verb usually do not affect agreement. For example, the colors of the rainbow are beautiful. Again, blue italic forms are used for your better understanding. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, rule number 4. When sentences start with there or here, the subject will always be placed after the verb. So care needs to be taken to identify it correctly. For example, there's a problem with the balance sheet. Here are the papers you requested. So here are the papers. Are the papers. Are is plural, so papers are plural. You requested. Rule number 5. Subjects don't always come before verbs in question. Make sure you accurately identify the subject before deciding on the proper verb form to use. For example, does Rahman usually drink milk? Where are the pieces of this puzzle? One thing I want you to give more extra emphasis, that is examples. Just look at the examples very carefully to get a very clear idea of the rule. So this example, does Rahman usually drink milk? Where are the pieces? I have used are because pieces is plural. I have used does because drink is singular. This must be very much important for you to take a note. Next slide. Okay, rule number 6. If two subjects are joined by and, they typically require a plural form. For example, the cow and the pig are jumping over the moon. So are has been used because cow and are two subjects and they are joined by and. So the cow and the pig are jumping over the moon. Number 7, the verb is singular if the two subjects separated by and refer to the same person or thing. For example, red beans and ice is my mom's favorite dish. Very important, this rule. Look at this rule once again. The verb is singular if the two subjects separate by and refer to the same person or thing. That is, if it is referred to the same person or thing, then you can use singular verb. So red beans and rice, same area of items. That is why is has been used. Is my mom's favorite dish, not are. Next, rule number 8. If one of the words each, every, and no comes before the subject, the verb is of course singular. No smoking or drinking is allowed. Every man and woman is required to check in. So no is very important. Every, when you use in a sentence, the next verb would be singular. Let us go to the next slide. Okay, rule number 9. If the subjects are both singular and are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either or, not only but also, then the verb is singular. For example, Jessica or Tina is to blame for the accident. Or when you use neither nor the subject as a subject, the verb would be singular. Okay. Rule number 10, the only time when the object of the preposition factors into the decision of plural or singular form, verb forms is when noun and pronoun subjects like some, half, none, more, all, etc. are followed by a prepositional phrase. And in this sentence, the object of the preposition determines the form of the subject. For example, all of the chicken is gone. But when you say all of the chickens, then you have to say are, because chickens is plural. All of the is a prepositional phrase. It will not affect the verb. So all of the chicken is gone. All of the chickens are gone. So you must clarify and differentiate the differences. Rule number 11. The singular verb form is usually used for units of measurement or time. For example, 4 liters of octane was required to get the car running. So 4 liters of octane, 4 liters is plural, but octane is singular because it is going to measure the time or any kind of unit or measurement. So the verb would be singular. 4 liters of octane was not required to get the car running. Okay, next slide, rule number 12. If the subjects are both plural and are connected by the words or, nor, neither nor, either or, not only but also, the verb is plural. For example, dogs and cats are both available at the pound. I mean, available at the pound means available at the money. Pound is the currency of England. Now, though, the currency of England is euro, but once it was pound. So this example, once again, if the subjects are both plural and are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either or, not only but also, the verb is plural. So the dogs and cats are both available at the pound. Pound means currency. Okay. Now let us go to the next example. So rule number 13. If one subject is singular and one plural, and the words are connected by the words or, nor, neither, nor, either or, not only but also, you use the verb form of the subject that is nearest to the verb. For example, either the bears or the lion has escaped from the zoo. So you can see bears or the lion. Lion is very close to the verb. That is why has been used. Bears is plural. It is not very close. Lion is close. That is why has been used. Singular verb has been used. Second example, neither the lion nor the bears have escaped from the zoo. You can see lion is singular, but bears are plural. It is very close to the verb. That is why it's plural. Bears is plural, so have has been used. Okay. Rule number 14, indefinite pronouns like everybody, nobody, somebody typically take singular verbs. For example, everybody wants to be loved. You can see everybody, everyone, nobody, no one, somebody, someone. When you use in a sentence as a subject, the verbs must be singular, that is verbs. Rule number 15, except for the pronouns like few, many, several, both, all, some, that always take the plural form. For example, few were left alive after the flood. So few, or when you use many, several, both, all, or some, the verbs must be plural. Okay, dear students, moving on and go to the next slide. Okay, rule number 16. If two infinitives are separated by and, they take the plural form of the verb. For example, to walk and to chew gum require great skill. So you can see there are two infinitives followed by and. So the verb is plural, that is require, not requires. Rule number 17. When gerunds are used as the subject of a sentence, they take the singular form, verb form of the verb. But when they're linked by and, they take the plural form. Very simple. So standing in the water was a bad idea. But the second sentence, swimming in the ocean and playing drums are my hobbies. So you can see there are two gerunds in the second sentence, playing and swimming. So the verbs are followed by plural. But in the first sentence, only one gerund, standing. So the verb is singular. Rule number 18. Collective nouns like herd means actually the group of animals, senate, class, crowd, they're all groups actually, etc. usually take a singular form verb form. For example, the herd is stampeding. When you use crowd, the same case, verb would be singular. Class, army, the verb would be singular. Rule number 19, titles of books, movies, and novels, etc. are treated as a singular and take a singular verb form. For example, The Aguner Parashmoni is a movie starring Bipasha Hayat. So you can see Aguner Parashmoni is the name of a movie, serial, or little bit of drama. Whatever it is followed by a singular verb. So you can see these rules are very important for you to locate and to know. Okay, dear students, let us go to the next slide. Rule number 20 and 21, this is the last slide of the rules. If the noun after of is singular, use the singular verb. If it's plural, use the plural verb. So look at the examples. A lot of the pie has disappeared. A lot of the pies is plural, now have disappeared. A third of the city is unemployed. A third of the people are unemployed. All of the pie is gone. All of the pies are gone. So it means that you can use either singular or plural, subject after these, phrases like all of, a lot of, but the verb must be chosen carefully. Okay, rule number 21 and the last rule. If there is singular subject, it means the verb ends in S. For example, the solicitor objects the petition. But if there is a plural subject, then the verb doesn't end in S. For example, the solicitor and prosecutor object the petition. Because there are two subjects, so two subjects means plural subject. It means plural subject, two subjects. So the verb would be singular. But when there is only one singular subject, if it is third person singular, then the verb will follow S or ES. It's a very common and simple rule for all of you. Okay, dear students, let us go to the next slide. Let us have a look some important examples. Look at the examples. A bouquet of yellow roses lent color and fragrance to the room. It is incorrect because the correct one is a bouquet of yellow roses lends color and fragrance to the room. Here you can see lends because a bouquet is singular. Bouquet is singular, so lends should be the correct form of the verb. Next one, my aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Look at this example. My aunt or my uncle is arriving because it is indicating one singular subject. That is why is has been used. Neither Jamal nor Rahman is available because it is followed by nor, singular person, so is. Either Kamal or Salam is helping today with stage directions. Neither the plates nor the serving bowl goes to the shelf. Singular. Neither the serving bowl nor the plates go to the shelf. You can see the verb which is actually near the subject should be decided. Look at this example, that is neither the serving bowl nor the plates go to that shelf, go on that shelf. Go is very near to plates. That is why it's plural. Second last example, neither she, I, nor my friends are going to the festival. Same thing, are is very close to friends. Verb, that is why it is plural. Or she, my friends, and I are not going to the festival. You can use the same sentence in different way. She, my friends, and I are not going to the festival. You can see there are three different types of personalities. She, my friends, and I. That is why verb is plural. Are not going to the festival. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Exceptions, there are some exceptions, of course. Breaking and entering is against the law. You can use here, simple verb is used, singular. The bread and breakfast was charming. Here verb is singular again. In those sentences, breaking and entering and bread and breakfast are compound nouns, and that is why verb is singular. Compare, you can see how comparison is made. The politician along with the newsman is expected shortly. Is along with means singular. Excitement as well as nervousness is cause of her shaking. 3 miles is too far to walk. 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. $10 is a high price to pay. But $10, that is dollar bills. If it is dollar bills, then the verb is plural, where scattered on the floor. So last two sentences are very much important for you to take note. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Some exercises I'm going to give you, and you can try. whether it's correct or not. Look at that. Number one, I don't understand the assignment. These clothes be too small for me. Mehraj do not like vegetables. Sugar and flour be needed for the recipe. My mom and dad be coming to drop me off. Neither Tracy nor I be going to college today. Each get a trophy for playing. Everybody enjoy a good book. The committee meet here every Thursday. Basketballs roll across the floor. So dear students, you can try it off with your own way and get the answer. And let's go to the next slide. So these are the answers. Answer key has been given. So you can check whether your answers are correct or not and get valuable practice. And with this, I'm going to thank you for watching and giving your rapt attention for considering all these things. Hope you have got adequate, valuable, sufficient ideas for right form of verbs. Remember, it's the part one. I will be presenting part two another day. So until then, goodbye and have a very good time again. Hope you will try to prepare yourself for that. Thank you very much.